So upon opening the box, you will notice the user's manual first off, and then you will see the engine, or I guess the drill engine. This controls the speed of the handpiece, etc., and supplies the power to the handpiece. This is a holder for the handpiece. When it's at F, that means that the motor will be rotating in a forward direction, and when it's at R, it'll be rotating at a reverse direction. So I am right-handed, so I usually tend to go for forward unless I'm using it with my left hand on my right hand, etc. And if you are left-handed, you most likely will be using it in the reverse. The dial right here is actually to control the speed of the machine. It shows a little bar for where the max speed is, and also for, so right here, this is for turning the machine on and off. So when it's dialed all the way down, like there's a little click. So when you turn it on, there's a little click, and there's a little bar right here. So you go from off to, as you go higher, it'll just go to max speed right here. And then it kind of stops here. And then when you want to turn it off, just make sure that you hear the little click again. So the machine comes with a little hook that you can lock onto a belt, or your pants, apron, whatever, if you're doing a house call or if you're working away from your station. Because it is rechargeable, you can just hook it onto your apron and then kind of walk away. Also, this piece that is to hold the drill comes along with the pack, and then you just have to kind of clip it on here. So you would just go like that and then slide it down. And so that kind of gives you a spot when you are working away from your station and it is not hooked in. You can kind of have the handpiece sitting in there. Let me see. Okay, so this is a fine drill bit. The barrel, the diameter is 3 by 32 inches, which is standard for most nail drills. So this handpiece should fit most standard nail drills. So in order to lock or unlock it, we will turn it. There's a little lock and unlock icon right on here, and you would just rotate it counterclockwise and you will get to the unlock setting, and it does a little click. You just take out that little thing there and place the new bit in and click back on. For this particular drill, there is a digital display on the top of the machine. It'll flash the name CHERI for a hot second, and then it will show you the speed, the amount of battery life you have left, and if it is forward or reverse. So moving on to the handpiece, I can already feel from the weight, like this is a pretty high quality handpiece. Compared to, I've used a lot of different like price range, you could say, of handpieces. The lower end ones as well as also pretty high end ones. And this is very comparable to the most high end ones because it has a nice metal body, as well as the weight is, it's kind of like the perfect amount for small hands. And I mean, even if you have big hands, it's not too heavy, but it's not so lightweight that you can't really balance it on your finger. Like, you kind of need a little bit of weight to be right here so that it's not like flying around while you're trying to use the drill. And I feel like it gives you the right amount of balance. This particular drill, the length is also pretty ideal for kind of the pencil grip, which is the preferred grip for nail techs. Some people might use it like, I mean, I wouldn't recommend, I've heard only of people using it like this, but because of the delicate work that you're doing and the fact that you are going to be using this on nails of a human being, the pencil grip probably gives you the most precise kind of angle and like a precise opening into doing the filing of the cuticles, etc. And this is the perfect length for that. So for when you're choosing a handpiece, I mean a drill for using on nail clients, the handpiece is very important because the better quality the handpiece is, the less it vibrates. And the more, like the higher speed it can go without vibrating. This particular piece, so this is, I just turned it on at a low speed. As you can see, you don't see any visible kind of, you know, deviations in terms of how it vibrates. Like it's kind of very centered. The more, like, also you have to make sure you use new drill bits. Like if your drill bit is off center at all, if there's any kind of damage to the kind of like the stem of the bit, then it will vibrate in a very haphazard and random manner, and you can't actually, then you kind of throw off the way that the handpiece is supposed to work. So in order to tell, you kind of have to use a bit that has not been damaged. So from the sound, you can, it's kind of a whizzing sound instead of like, I don't hear any random sounds in there. It's pretty uniform, so I can tell that the vibration is also pretty low. So I'm going higher. I'll probably go to the highest and see what the sound is like. So the highest speed is 35 kRPM. And if you listen to it, it's a very uniform whizzing sound, which kind of signifies that there's very little random vibrations, or like the vibrations are off kilter, or it vibrates too much. There's a very uniform rotation. Okay, I'm gonna go back down again and turn it off. So I'm gonna do a quick demonstration of using the drill on my own thumbnail. Like I have soak off gel on right now, and I will use the ceramic safety bit that was provided with the drill just to remove a little bit of the gel that I applied on myself. So I will just turn it on. For removal of the top layer, I usually like to go at a higher speed than lower. So I'd probably go at like a 29 at least. And then kind of balancing my hand on my fingers, I will just go and just move this aside. I don't actually feel any vibration, very low vibration, very easy. It feels very smooth because I am also on top of the motor being running at very low vibration. This is also a new drill bit, so we're at the ideal kind of speed and vibration we would need to be when drilling on nails. So you don't want to push it too much, you just kind of graze, and it seems to be working just perfectly. When using nail drills, you want to make sure you don't stay in the same area for too long, because it generates too much heat, and that's when the client they experience discomfort. So you want to constantly be moving the drill bit around the surface of the nail, and use a very light touch. And if you have a handpiece with very heavy vibration, you can't actually kind of brush it, almost like just feather it on top of the nails. So because this is very low vibration, I have very high control. So yeah,